all right. What's up? We're just gonna give it a second to wait for people to get in, and then we're gonna break this down. All right, because there's a lot of misinformation floating around about all these things that's completely useless, and we're just gonna bring some things to light. So we're just gonna give it a second. Hey, welcome, everybody, welcome. This is what you would call the moral compass. All right. Now, in ancient times, the Creator was called the All. All right. Okay. In ancient times, the Creator was simply called the All. There was no Jesus, no Yeshua, no Yahweh, no Allah, no none of that shit. Okay, it was simply called the All. The reason it was simply called the All, why do you think it was? Because everything comes from it, right? Now, if you ask somebody that thinks that they're a Mayan, right, they're going to tell you that this is a fucking sundial and a calendar, right? But if it's the Moor all compass, why would you listen to it from anybody but a Moor? And when you talk about it, it's a compass. So come and pass, right? What comes and goes, right? Your compass, right? Now, the thing is that this within it has a calendar. It does have a schedule, but it's not the one that you would think that it is. And it doesn't have to do with the end of the world. This actually has to deal with your body, internally and externally. Right? And so if we break this down, you're going to see it much more clearly than you used to, right? So why don't we start with some very basic things, like things that you should already recognize if you've been on my page, that is. Right? This right here, once again, is that Aries symbol or those ram horns, right? So if you notice, they connect right in to here, okay? Now this is, let's see, let's just show you like this, right? Let's go to the photos. Oh, we were right on it too. Look, check this out. Library, album, this one right here, and this one right here. See this? This is the symbol that you see at the bottom, right here. Okay? What do I think happened to the Aztec people? They got renamed as, they got renamed from Moors to Indians to black to Negro to colored. They've just been renamed over and over again. They didn't disappear. They're lying to you about them disappearing. The only way that you can say that they disappear is that you can say they were washed underwater because they got put under admiralty jurisdiction. Okay? Ain't no such thing as them disappearing. Ain't nobody fucking disappear. Okay? The reason that they tell you that the Aztecs and the Incans and the Mayans just disappeared magically and took off on starships and went off into other things is because they don't want you to realize that what they're talking about is the American Negro. See, they disappeared because they were wiped out by Spaniards claiming to be Mayans and Moors being turned into Indians, and so on and so forth. That's how they disappeared. They didn't physically disappear. They were replaced. Okay? Because that's always been the agenda, is to replace everybody. Does that mean you could say what? Bro, don't fuck. Here, man. Matter of fact, here, let me help you out. Block. Bitch ass motherfucker. Bink. I already know what the fuck you was asking. Now, back to what I was saying, right? Now look, right? So that's the lateral ventricles. Now, outside of your lateral ventricles is the basal ganglia, right? That's Horus, okay? Yeah, it's identity theft in a mass scale. It's all by the same people, too. The fucking Ottoman Empire is what you think are your Jews, what you think are your Arabs, what you think are your fucking, your Spaniards, what you think are your Native Americans. These are all Ottoman. It's all the Ottoman Empire, okay? That's who's been at war with America since the 1400s. See, they gave you all these, they named all of these different countries and things to try to confuse you into realizing who it was that everybody was at war with and who it was that was doing all of the replacements. Okay? It's really the Ottoman Empire. Now, back to what I was saying. So, this is the basal ganglia, which, if you can see, if you notice the curves on the dragon's face, here is this right here. Notice how it has the little bulb at the end and wraps inwards towards the lateral ventricles. Okay. Oop, wrong one. Let's go back to the other one. So, and yeah, I know I just ran off like half my chat because they thought that they were going to come in here with their Mexican nonsense. But we know, okay? We know around here, okay? So, these are your lateral ventricles. Why? Because this is the top of the spinal column. That's what the dragon represents. See, the dragon's face itself is your boy Set. The medulla. Bink. You see the dragon? You see the dragon right there? See the head of the dragon? Okay? So from the head of the dragon, the lateral ventricles go up into the brain this way, okay? It comes down to this, all right? And inside of that is the basal ganglia, okay? Now, this little man right here, all right? See the little man, the circle of Willis that sits on top of it? That's him right there. Can't I accept that humans are... I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about, bro, but today's not the day. Today, we're chopping throats, okay? You come in here with the nonsense and you're out, all right? I bought a whole fucking box of red flags to throw at you motherfuckers, okay? Like, don't do it today. All right, so look. These two faces is the circle of Willis, okay? This is the aqueduct. These are the lateral ventricles. And this is your medulla. That's the face of the dragon. Okay, that's this part right here. Now, if you notice, right, the dragon goes to what? The serpent. You see it in there? See, most people miss the details, and that's why they can't figure this shit out. You can't ask a Mayan about this. Somebody that claims to be Mexican, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They're going to tell you all kinds of, these are this name and that name and this name, and it gives you no type of reference as to what the fuck this actually means. Now look, see these? These are vertebrae. Okay? These are your vertebrae. And on each vertebrae is the 3 arteries that connect. Because each vertebrae has what? It has the river that's in the middle. It has the river on each side on the outside. There's 3 lines that go through the vertebrae, okay? These are your 4 amens, all right? So this goes this way. All right? Each one has its own chamber and its own mind. And this is all based off of old school stuff. So more than likely, we're going to find that there's 12 of them in total. Okay, because it's just showing the flow. Nope, there's the 12, there's the 11th, and here's the 12th. Okay, now, check this out, right? You see how it comes to that point right there? All right, you see how it comes to that point right there, right? Let me show you something. let's go with this. Insert a photo. So y'all gonna learn. They ain't gonna learn because they ain't gonna want to hear what I have to say because they're gonna try to tell me that I'm wrong, but I'm gonna show you some shit. Okay, we're gonna get to the bottom of this real easy. Look, check this out. What's this look like to you? Yeah. Look, you see the face of the dragon? I mean, you see what the dragons are? Okay, these are your dragons. All right. And that point that you see right there is this one. This is the tip that you see right here, okay? Because it's going this way. This is at the top of it, okay? So, as we've already explained to you, the serpents represent what? The veins and the arteries, okay? Your ventricles. Now, the dragon itself is actually your spinal column. So, if you notice, right, you've got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and the 13th, where they're both combined. All right. So there's 13 total. But this one, look at the shape of it. What's that? Oh. You get what I'm saying? It's not even hidden. It's like right there in front of you. That's why I can't understand why the people that say that they come from this don't understand this, right? So you've got these two flows that are coming in, right? That are being controlled by your lateral ventricles, okay? That's why you see this here as well. Okay, because all the instructions come from the lateral ventricles, okay? That's where Amun's horn, right? You see the horns, right? This is the goat, the ram. I mean, it's not actually the goat, but you know, you can see it. It's got the two flows that come through it, right? So, why couldn't your history teacher teach you like this? Because they don't fucking know history. That's why. They only know lies. Now, look, check this out, right? So, here's all three of those flows. The 1, 2, and the 3, right? And notice how they go in towards the eye. Why would it go in towards the eye? Your eyes are the things that dictate your emotions. And it's not how you think it is, right? Your eyes dictate the emotions because it's what your eyes see that generate your emotions, okay? It's your recognition of things that brings emotions out of you. And so what you have here is the representation of that. Okay, because your emotions are the things, that's what these little men are that are coming out of the mouth. Okay, these are the representation of your thoughts, right? And you have what? A left and a right side of your brain, right? Oh. And the left and the right side are what control what the lateral ventricle receives, okay? I don't know why you'd be scared of black cubes, sir. That's a weird ass question, but I can't explain. Okay, now look. 1, 2, 3. You see how the 3 are still there? And then it's right here. 1, 2, the 3. Okay, these are representing the arteries. Now it's going into the serpent's mouth because the blood travels through your serpents, right? Now look, off the lateral ventricles, right? You see the basal ganglia right here? It's perfectly displayed right there. You get me? So it's not even, bro, I don't care about the sad. I don't care about that bullshit, bro. I really don't. Like, don't let these people feed you a bunch of bullshit to get your mind stuck on things that ain't got nothing to do with you. Okay? That's what the whole trick is to keep you fucking occupied so you don't learn this. So pay the fuck attention. Okay? Just pay attention, guy. This is the stuff that they don't want you learning, okay? Because these things tell you processes and give you fucking reason to fucking exist, all right? So, what you see here, right? Now notice, right? On each side you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5. Why would you have the 5 on each side? Because you have 5 parts to your brain. Frontal, occipital, perennial, lombatic, and your cerebellum. Okay, so that's where the 10 comes into play. Now, when we get done with this, I got to try to find this other image that I have that's a really nice replicator. Most of the ancient images are replications. They just do them over and over and over again because they've been trying to copy this shit for a long time. Now, right? So this is the information that's traveling down your spine, right? Where do you think it comes from? You have a 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Don't you have a forehead? 1, 2, 3, and the 4, right? The forehead, right? Now you know why they call it a forehead, right? You understand? They're borrowing, okay? They're borrowing information. This is your forehead, okay? This right here in the middle is the same thing that you saw traveling down there. If you notice, this is the whole entire makeup of... Oh, my pen's off. Sorry. Right? This is everything, right? Here's your lateral ventricles here. Right? And that connects down to the 3 parts, right? It's not a nose, yo. People are so confused about this shit. All right? Goes like this, right? And then your lateral ventricles are this part that goes around it. Okay, that's the waters. And if you notice on the inside of it, bloop. This like this, and this comes around this way. Okay. Okay. Now, on either side of this, you have the waters. Notice how each side has the 3. Okay? Now, you've got the cup in the middle. All right? Because they're always talking to you about the Holy Grail, aren't they? Right? That cup, that grail, right? Now, you have the waters that are on the outside, right? Then you have the waters that run through the inside. Right? You have the basal ganglia and the thalamus, and then you have your lateral ventricles that go in between all of it. Who said wrong? Let me get this dumb fuck out of here. Peace! Flag on the play. All right, he's out. All right, so, look, right? Now, that goes down. Here, let me keep these different colors so that you can see things more clear. All right. Now, if you notice, they both go into here, and then this breaks down into 3 parts. 1, 2, and 3. All right. Over here as well. 1, 2, and the 3. Right. So they're literally giving you the diagram of the inside of the brain. Let's get that little, where is it at? Where's that one? Okay, hold on a second. I gotta do it like this. Bloop. Give me this. Right here. Bloop. You see, that circle of Willis that I was talking to you about earlier. Now see, now that I've enlarged it, can you see them a little better? Let's get back to... Oh, no, we're good. Oh, hold on, I gotta get rid of some of it. Put that back over there. All right, look, right? So, the little dots that you see represent the left and the right side of the brain. This center part actually represents the cerebellum. Okay, this is your cup. I gotta go up a layer if I'm gonna draw on that. Hold on a second. Bloop, bloop. All right, this is the cup right here. All right, that's what it represents. And the reason that it sits at the top is because this is what controls how you react. So you've got the pineal gland back here lit up, all right? And then you've got the left and the right hemisphere of the brain. Yeah, no, I'm good, guy. I'm not fucking letting up none of you, okay? Nobody, all right? So the reason that the mouth is here is because you're dealing with a frequency. Now, I wish I had the bigger picture of this because I believe that there's a face in here, but I just can't see it on this one, okay? So the reason that the mouth is actually open is because you're dealing with frequency, all right? And notice how it's got the fingers on the tongue, okay? The reason that the fingers are on the tongue is because it's holding on to the energy, all right? That's what that's about. It's your actions that change the way the frequency is that you put out. Okay? Now, well, you would think that it's you because it is you. All right? Now, if you notice at the bottom of this, you've got the what? The 1, 2, and the 3 again. Okay? On either side. All right, you got 3 chambers. Okay, because that's where it comes out from. All right, so this is the center of the mind. Okay, this is the voice that's inside of you that you respond to, that determines the way that your body reacts to the thing that you see. So the reason that you see the face is because inside your head, you have a little voice that comes and tells you things, don't you? Right? And that voice can either straighten you out, right? Get you straight out, or flip you upside down, right? You see? Right side up, upside down. Now, you have 5 lobes that are controlled by the 2 sides, right? Because, you know, you have the two sets of emotions, you know, the good and the bad shit that it goes through. I don't care what you look at it like, my friend. Now, your brain has what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lobes, right? So you have the two 5s, okay? Now, those 2 5s are inside of your 4 heads. Right? Now, you have the ears. If you notice, the ears also have 1, 2, and 3 on the bottom. It connects like this. Bloop. And look, they also have the same basal ganglia on them because it's your, what? Your thoughts. Right? There's the fucking hand again. Notice how it doesn't just look like a creature, how it also looks like a hand grabbing onto something, right? That's what? You taking in sound, okay? It's grabbing onto the sound or consuming the sound to change and alter the thoughts. Right? So these are just things that are explaining how your body operates, all right? Now, if you notice, right, there's also a process happening here. Where does it start from? Right here, right? You have the wolf or the dog. Why? Because the dog is the word, the tongue, the thing that represents frequency, right? Now, next to that, you have 2 passageways. Because your arteries have what? 2, right? Now, over here, you got the rabbit. All right. Next to the rabbit, you have the lamb. Okay. Because what they're telling you is that your frequency flows to new what? What is it, right? Think about it. New thoughts, right? Because the ram is your what? The lateral ventricles, okay? So those thoughts create, notice the lion sitting here, all right? The thoughts create what? Emotions, all right? Now those emotions travel, if you notice the serpent, all right? But it's got multiple pieces to it. Why? Because your vertebrae do, right? Now, the little lizard, right? Why would it be a lizard? What are they trying to tell you with the lizard? What do lizards do? Why would they use the lizard? What is the attributes of a lizard? Don't lizards sunbathe? Right? If a lizard sunbathes, then what's it telling you? That's something that does what? Absorbs energy, right? Right? So as the energy is absorbed, right? It starts to build up. And depending on the type of emotions that you have, controls what it creates. See, it's being bound together here. You see that? See how it's 2 separate ones, 3 separate ones, all locking in together, creating a knot-like structure, okay? Which is your vessel. Okay. Now, as that grows, right? It's showing you that it's passing, right? You see? It's showing you the process of your thoughts traveling, right? Now, this, if you notice, sorry, sometimes this thing jams up. Let's clarify this, right? You see the creature that is building, right? It's growing, right? See how it's growing? Look, because I told you, it's being bound together. Look, you see how, what is that green shit? Hold on a second. What is that? There's some green lines on here for some reason. I don't know where they just came from, but all right, right? So you see how it goes into the crescent, and then from the crescent, it's showing you that it's being fueled by the 3 and that it's growing, right? And then what? You got the flower of life, right? Because you got a creation. All right. Now it's actually something created, which has its own thoughts. Now, why would it think that your thoughts would turn into something, right? Because your thoughts are the things that become the actions in the person that you represent, okay? It's your thoughts that create your actions. It's your actions that reflect the ways that you think. So you can tell who somebody is by how they act and react to certain situations, right? So depending on who they are, you know, they could either be wise, right? You could be wise like the birds, or you can be what? Unruly like the animals. Animals just do whatever the fuck animals do, right? They don't give a shit. You get what I'm saying? So look, here's your hips right here. Now, if you notice, this is your spinal column going down to the top of the hips, which you have the 2 different faces on. One is that bird one that we just passed, and the other one is that fucking little beaver looking thing, right? So now that it's gone down, it's got to be recycled. Here's your serpent. All right, that serpent, right? Remember how they always talk about that serpent that's chasing the tail? Why do you think they always tell you that you're carnal? Like you're carnal or you're fucking primal or whatever the fuck, right? Now, that becomes the new life, okay? See, look, it includes everything, right? You got the 3 for the arteries. You got the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 for the mind. You have it squawking because, you know, you're creating something new. So it's going to have its own what? Voice, right? So when you're looking into these things, realize that there's something real that's being taught here. Right? Now, when those 2 sides of the mind are properly regulated, it combines. That's why you have the 5 of them here. All right? Those 5 are what creates that energy that begins to pass. Right? Come and pass. The compass. Right? Hold on, I gotta plug it in. How do you get this video? I'll probably be uploading it to YouTube or something. All right. Now look, right? All right, so let's dive in on these guys, right? Let's see. Where are we at? Now, so you've got the 12, right? Because here to here is your 12 vertebrae, okay? Now those 12 leads you down to the base, which is this part down here. See how you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right there? The 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5th. Okay? That's what these are. Notice how it even shows you. Look at the fucking shape. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is your 5th. The 5th one is, you know, the bottom part. That's this down here. Okay? So realize that this is not a fucking doomsday calendar. Like, literally, it's not a fucking doomsday calendar. I don't know why they want you to think everything has to deal with you dying, because dying is a false idea in the first place. If you can't imagine you're an NPC, no, that just means that you're not somebody that studies art or is artistic or has been studying anatomy, because you have to study anatomy and art in order to understand these things. So it's not that you have to fucking... like, you know, unless you spent as much time staring at this type of shit like I have. like I don't think you understand. Look. This is how much time I've spent staring at this stuff, okay? Like, here, let me show you, all right? If we just go like this, you're going to notice that there's a lot of pictures in here. Okay? I've been looking at all this stuff for years. Years and years and years. Okay? It's just something that, you know, now when I look at these things, I don't see pictures. I just see messages. I just see processes. I just see commands, designs, and things of that nature. You get me? So that's the only difference between me and you, is you just haven't had enough time looking at it to start to really realize the things that are in front of you, right? But I've been diving into this stuff for like a hot minute now. You know what? I got the best compliment the other day, because one of the people that I think is the most prominent in fucking symbolism in the mainstream media is Santos Bonacci, and he fucking told me he loves my shit, and he was like, this shit is genius. He was like, yeah. So I'm probably gonna be going live with him on Instagram, him and the creator of the Hearth book and the creator of the Book of Wisdom. I think all 4 of us are going to be sitting down and having some pretty interesting lives, you know, because nothing that he's seen of mine yet, he said that's incorrect. So I know that if even he's fucking on that shit, and he was Jordan Maxwell's friend, so you know if that's going on, then yeah, Santos Bonacci. Nah, he loves my stuff, man. Nah, he's got, because, bro, you don't understand, like he's got a different side of the symbolism than I do, you know? Like, my shit kind of makes his shit make as much sense as he's made out of it. So he enjoys the stuff that I be doing, right? He told me so. Like, you know, I get to have fucking conversations with him. I think that's dope, because, like, that's because, like, he was one of the first people that I seen that was, like, showing symbolism and stuff like that. So if I can get him and Martin Liedtke and motherfucking, you know, Jordan Maxwell, he passed away, you know, but motherfucking, you know, we still got Santos running around, so it's kind of dope to have him appreciate my stuff. That's a pretty nice compliment for me. You know, it's like that was a little milestone of mine. Right? So look, see, the way that you think affects the way that you feel, right? And so they're showing you that by representing the brain's parts, right? But it's a process that's taking place. If you notice, yeah, I'm probably gonna bring up Santos a couple times. I like just name dropping him because it's kind of dope that he's fucking with me, like he really likes my stuff, and I really enjoy that, right? So you've got the two sides that control it. You've got the three arteries that come off of it. You've got the energy that's passing through it, and then you have the effects that are taking place. Okay, so I'm not really sure where they got the idea that this was a calendar. I don't know if they just made that up, because you got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90. Now, that seems like 9 to me. Okay? So if it's 90 on each side, that's 9, right? Which is kind of funny, because if you pay attention, right, you got the 3 that come off of each, but it's on each side. So what's 3 and 3? 6, right? Now those 6 are what is building up the 90. Now, if you think about it, right? What's 90 times 30? 120. 120,000, right? So where would they get the 144 from? Is that in this somewhere? That's a question to be asked, right? Where would we find that at? Where do they get that number 144 from? It is 27, right? 2,700. But what's 2,700? 9 with a bunch of zeros. You got to remember, those numbers that you're saying right now don't exist. You have 1 through 9. Those are your numbers. Right? 1 through 9. Those are your only numbers. Everything past this is bullshit. Hey, more and more. Yeah, no, there's no eagle in the middle, bro. I don't know what they're fucking talking about when they say that there's an eagle in the middle, but I looked at what they said was the eagle. They're like, oh yeah, this makes the wings of the eagle, and these are the eagle's claws, and that shit don't make no fucking sense, bro. I don't know why they say that. Like, do you see an eagle? Does anybody see an eagle here? Anybody at all? Because I'm going to show you. Look, this is what they say the eagle is, right? This is what I be meaning about. Like, no disrespect to you at all. You know, don't take it that way. But like, my thing is bro, like, you got to reach to see that. They're like, oh yeah, it's an eagle. It goes up like this, and then it comes down like this, and then it go. Or no, I'm sorry. They say that this is the eagle right here, and this is the eagle's wings, and this is the claws, and it comes down here to the tail. That's what they see when they look at this. And I don't fucking get it. Like, why do you have to make something extra, like, out of something that's literally not there? You get me? They're just making up shit and selling it to people and trying to tell them that it's the truth, bro. There's no fucking truth in that. And I don't mean you no disrespect. I know that that's what those people are telling you guys and shit like that. But they're just fucking throwing you for a loop. Because as long as you're looking at this like the eagle and stuff, what is it teaching you? Like, that's my thing, is these things were left behind to teach us about ourselves. What does that eagle teach you? The 4 eras? No, bro. Like, what do you mean? Why should you believe me over them? Because I actually show you so you can see it for yourself. That's why. You understand? The difference is when they taught you guys shit, they just stood around and said, hey, this is this, and this is this, and this means this, with nothing to back it up whatsoever, nothing to show it whatsoever. You understand? The difference is that I can show you what each thing is. Right, that's the thing, Jasmine, is why would you have to, if this is so direct, why would you have to make up something in it? It's not the, well, I mean, you could say it's the balance of dark and light. You got to think about it like this, right? One side is your positive and one side is your negative. That's one way to look at it. But if you look at it from the truth, you're looking at positive and negative, because this deals with charges. Okay, this is dealing with energy. This is sacred geometry. Okay, the pyramid, this thing right here, this pyramid, is that what you're talking about? Let me show you something. Let me show you something real quick. You know why that pyramid sits there? Where is he? Where's Set? Let me show you why that pyramid's there. Ooh. All right, this is your medulla, right? Now, if you look right here, what's that say it's called? That's your pyramid. This is literally called your pyramid. On your body, this area is called your pyramid. This is the pons and the medulla. Okay, this is where your pyramid is. When they're talking about the pyramids in Egypt and the Nile River and all that shit, you want to see what the Nile River is? Look, let me show you real quick. What do they tell you that the Nile River has? It has 7 heads, right? Let's count them up. 1, 2. Wait, where's it split? Splits from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the 7. The 7 heads of the Nile River that goes past the pyramids down through the world, right? This right here is called your atlas. This down here is called the axis. Above the axis in the atlas is where your pyramid is at before you get to the hemispheres of the world. That's where you get this from. The 7 heads, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right, of the serpent on the 7 mountains, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, on which the woman sits. Let's see. Oh, let me get this fucking fake-ass pretendian out of here. Bink, you gotta go. Now, let's see. All the pretendians are saying this is fake because they don't know shit. So, let's see. Let's go to the other one. Let's see. Hold on 1 second. I gotta clear the room. of all the fucking pretendians that are gonna come in here and try to fucking distract you guys and fucking trick you guys into believing that they see eagles and shit. Alright. Now, there you go. So, you know, no flags out right now. We took the flags out, okay? So the 7 heads are representation of your circulatory system, okay? The 7 mountains are the 7 vertebrae that are above your clavicle, all right? And it's the woman that sits. She represents your heart, okay? That's what the little arteries are that are coming out of the side of the shit and why they go up in these directions, okay? She's the representation of the heart. It's the heart connecting to the mind, okay? Yeah, fly like an eagle, motherfucker. You squawk, squawk out this motherfucker, okay? Okay? No, we're not doing this divine feminine, divine masculine bullshit, okay? We need to let that egotistical shit that they keep feeding you go, okay? There is no divine feminine, divine feminine. Divine feminine, divine masculine, okay? That's a bad... Just because people throw out fancy words on shit doesn't mean that they mean something, okay? Because if you want to see what divine is, this is divine. The line. The vine. Divine. Duh means the vine. The vine. This is divine. Look, right here. Let me show you where it comes from. Hold on. Let me show you something real quick. Bink. Now you know why they call it divine? It's your spine. It's the vine. The vine of the what? The brain stem. You see how it comes out of the top of the head? That's the brain stem. Notice how it's coming out of the waters that are above the blood, okay? Brain stem, okay? So when you see these things, this is your divine. You don't see the fucking eagle. Okay? This is divine. Okay, so stop saying divine masculine, divine feminine. That's just shit that they made up. Just like this is your spear of your spear ritual. Okay? This is the spear right here. Okay? Not only is this the spear, this is the trident. This is also the fucking, you know that little pitchfork that fucking Satan runs around with? That's that. This is also fucking the paddles on the boat. This is also your anchor. Right? They tell you anchor your soul, right? Hold on, let me show you something. Where is it at? I know Frank made it in here. I know he's in here somewhere. I got it. I gotta have it. Let's see. Everybody, oh, look. Everybody always be asking about aliens. Here, look. This is your aliens. Okay, this is your aliens right here. Notice how it's your pawns. Okay, so when they tell you, hey, look, you want to see the, hold on, wait, no, I got you. Hold on, wait, hold on. Let me give you this one. Hold on, I'm gonna run you through this one before I go. Hold on, because I want you to see this so that you never get fucking lied to about this again. Because this is the stupidest shit. Everybody's like, oh man, he's sitting in a spaceship. There are space travelers, and he's riding in his spaceship, and fucking. Motherfuckers just be telling y'all all kinds of shit. Hold on a second. Where's it at? Where is he at? Oh, right there. Bink. I want you to see this, okay? You see that? Yeah. Hey, they be showing you stuff like this. Talk about something. It's a spaceship and da-da-da-da-da. No, the fuck is not. Count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why would there be 5? 5 lobes. And the 5 lobes connect to what? That inner voice, right? That inner voice is you. That's you steering the ship. Remember, your body is called a what? What's your body called? It's a vessel, right? So the man steering the vessel, oh yeah, they have spaceships that have little faces that talk to you. Are you sure about that? You sure you know what they're talking about, guy? You sure they're telling you the truth? You got spaceships that are controlled by little baby heads. That's what it was. He was sacrificing the baby's head in order for him to be able to travel through the astral realm. Come on, man. Do y'all listen to the shit that they be trying to feed y'all? Do y'all really listen to that shit, yeah? Do you pay attention to what they're saying? Because it should be wild as fuck. I swear that should be wild as fuck, right? Now look. Look, right? Look, check this out. Where's that other image at? Hold on. Let's back this out a little bit. Now do you see him? This is what the spaceship is. Okay? The little face right here is this little section right here. His face is this section right here. He leans up against the lateral ventricles. Okay? It's the same thing over and over again. And where is it dictated by? Look, right? You see how the cerebellum has these lines in it at the bottom for your emotions? You see how the 5 parts of the brain are have the 2 sides that are a fucking... You get what I'm saying? You notice how that connects through the 2 parts, the arteries, right? You see how the creature's inside of the cave, right? Now look at the Pokeballs. Look, you got Pokeballs in there and everything. Yeah, the macro and the micro. There you go. See, you're starting to get it, man. Look. I like... You know what I like? I like it when I know that, sometimes I'm saying things that some of y'all have been taught about, and like, it might come off disrespectful at first, but I appreciate it when you guys hang around so that you can see what it is that I'm trying to show you before you just go and judge me for what I'm trying to teach you about. Because, I don't judge y'all for motherfucking being taught incorrectly. I don't judge you guys for the fact that they lied to you. I don't judge you guys for none of that shit, because in all reality, we've all been lied to. You get me? I'm not here to disrespect nobody. I'm not here to hurt nobody's feelings or nothing like that. I'm just trying to show y'all what it is so that you can see it for yourself. And if you disagree with it, hey, okay, that's fine. You can disagree with me all you want to. It's not going to offend me. But, I'm just trying to make sure that, people can, that we remove all of these lies that they've been giving to everybody about what these things represent, because right now there's so much disrespect that's being given to these things due to those lies, and the only way that I can unveil you from those lies is by showing you what they actually represent. And if I show you what they actually represent, you're never going to see those demons again. You're never going to see those monsters again. You're never going to feel like there's some type of evil force that's just lingering around and shit. You get what I'm saying? Because, there's a lot of that shit floating around. You get me? There's a lot of that floating around, and it's very much destructive in nature. And we all deserve better than that. Like, we deserve to have the truth just as much as they got the truth. Okay? So... do I believe in manifestation? No, I don't believe in manifestation. You got to stay away from these things that they try to teach you about, okay? They lie to you about so much. Look, if you have to convince yourself of manifestation, you have to go against nature. Naturally, everything around you is something that you're producing. So what the fuck do you have to worry about manifesting things for? Right? They teach y'all so much ass backwards shit. Manifestation, everything that's around you is something that you decided that you wanted. So doesn't that mean that you manifested it? Haven't you ever realized that, there's certain things that you create that you don't even realize that you create because they just seem to fit exact. Like, you'll be thinking of this one exact thing that's very specific for something that nobody else has anything else to do with, and it'll just magically appear like, oh my God, here, come buy this. That shit didn't come from somebody else. That's what they want you to think. They got y'all fighting against nature. They got you fighting against who you are. Once you fully accept who you are and know who you are, you can't be fooled by these things anymore. But it takes a little bit of work because you have to get rid of all the fucking restraints that they taught you. Okay? That's the thing, is you got to learn who you are. And until you accept that you're the creator in the flesh, you're always going to be questioning yourself. You're always going to be wondering about shit. You're always going to be searching. But there's nothing to search for. You're already here. Like, you need to be more accepting of who you are. Like, a lot of times they teach you that you're crazy for certain thoughts and tell you don't think that way, don't do those things, and don't do this. Who the fuck are they? You get what I'm saying? Be true to yourself. Don't silence yourself because people are uncomfortable about the things that you speak. Maybe they're uncomfortable because they need to hear it. Don't change who you are because you want to impress the world. Be who you are so that the world that you want to find comes to you. Once you start operating in your own world, you'll see that the world is yours in the first place. So many people these days ignore themselves to conform to what other people want them to see, right? They want you to see the lady in the fucking spaceship, but really it's the lady on the cross. You understand me? They all they do is distort the image. Oh, let's turn it sideways. They'll never figure it out. And they're like, oh, it's a guy sitting in a spaceship and he's steering it with his nostrils. That's the type of shit that they try to feed you. They're like, it's a dude in a spaceship that steers it with his nostrils. The fuck is that? No, let's change the angle, right? It's always about them angels or them angles, right? What layer is this on? This one. Bloop. Same image. No, it's not a device. Yeah, it's a device of some sort. It's your body. Bro, look. Look here. Look. This part you should be able to recognize, right? You didn't see it? You don't see what this is? You don't know what that is? That's your hips. Coccyx and everything. And the holes where your fucking shit's at, okay? It's your hips. Hold on, let me show you. Bloop. Because none of this stuff isn't about you. You're the most advanced, the most precious, the most fucking immaculate thing walking this earth, okay? It's you. It's always gonna be you. I think this is female, but see, it's this section of the hips. And if you notice, it's even got the bottom part. It's got the two little notches right there. Okay? It's you. Let's look at it from the front side instead. Let's go like this. Hold on a second. Hold on, because this is going to aggravate me being like this. Hold on a second. It's a nuisance when I... Okay. Let's just move this guy over here. Put him down here like this. And let's make him a little bigger. That's too big. All right, so that's about it right there. Okay. Now we're going to cut off a part of this because the arms ain't even on there. So get rid of this. Get rid of the arms. Okay. It's your hips. It's called procreate. Now, hold on. I still see some of it over there. All right, there we go. Move this up here. Okay. This is your hips, right? And if you notice, there's water that runs down, right? Notice how it's coming out of the reproductive organs. All right, going down to the bone. You see that? See how it goes to the bone right here? That's a big ass bone, man. All right. And then down here, you got it mixing. See, it crosses right here. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Oop, shit. Okay? You see how this one comes down from the 3? Right? This one goes up to the 3. Bing, bing, bing. Ooh, this one's got 4 on it. Right? This one only has 3. Or does it? Hold on. Let me make sure my lines aren't in the way or something. Oh, no, it does have the 4. Okay. All right, that makes more sense. Because there's the 3. 1, 2, and 3. Okay? Because it originally comes from the mind, right? So watch how this goes all the way up to that fucking bird up there somewhere. Watch. It's going to go here and like this. And look. See how it connects with the 3? All right. And then this goes this way. All this water flowing. All right. But they want you to think that it's a spaceship. What the fuck spaceship have you ever seen that had water flowing through it? You see, they just be trying to fill your head with some crazy shit. See, you got all the workings of the brain in here, and it just keeps on flowing, right? What's it flowing up to? The 3 that connect to the, right? That's the one side, all right? And it flows all the way up here, which is coming up to this, which is coming out of what? The bird's mouth. Right? And the thing coming out of the bird's mouth got the 1, the 2, and the 3 attached to it. Okay? So, what's the bird? The bird, man, look. Because you have to understand that these things are all one civilization. It doesn't matter which one you go to. I'll prove it to you if you need me to. This is the bird. Okay? It's not dark and light. What you're looking at is the ascension process. Okay? See? Spear ritual. You're learning a spear ritual. That's what it's all about, is the spear ritual. That's what the fuck cracks me up when people tell me that they're spiritual. I'm like, you don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. Yeah, the bird is the word. Exactly. No, that's the point. That's the point, bae. Is the bird's the word, bro. The bird is the word of the creator. You're the creator. It's your thoughts that are traveling. Okay? That's why they say those type of things. You know why they really say it? Here, let me show you this. Where they at? Go to this. Let me show you why they say the bird's the word. Give me this thing right here. No, not this one. Where's the Madrid? Where the fuck? Or is it the Borgia? It might be the Borgia. Hold on. Let me see something. Nah, it's this one. But that's a shitty one. Where's the Borgia at? I know I got a cleaner version. The Barnacus. You see, look, they were trying to make these, okay? That's why they look like shit. They were trying to copy them off of the originals and create their own versions. That's why they look like shit. That's why they're never fucking finished. Right? These are copies. Now, the real ones are complete, but they're not as easy to come across. Right? Everybody's got these shitty copies that they made. And some of these just look like a mess for no reason. All right, they've been altering and changing these and trying to recreate them for the people that they look like. Now, where's a good one? Hold on. Let's just do it like this. Give me this for a second. Watch. Let's go to... Okay, let's see. We got let's go to the Borgia. Because his was the best because his was the one, he got his hands on it before everybody else did. Alright. Now I know I got these images somewhere else, but I don't know why they're not as good as they were before. But hold on, I'm trying to show you something, right? Because they're always talking about them birds talking and shit. I want to show you where that actually comes from. Where's it at? The Google photo? No. Yeah, maybe it's in the Googles. Hold on. Let's go to ancient stuff. And let's see. Where is it? I think I got a couple of the pages in here. If not, I definitely have them in my regular photo stash. See, look, they want to keep telling you about the tablets that God used to write on and shit. What are these? What are these? What is this? What is this? What is this? What is this? Right? Yeah, oh, you fucking on the tablets, right? The tablets. Notice how small they are. The tablets. Who is Anubis? The tongue. The word, man. The word. Okay. See? You're gonna learn this stuff, man. See, look. They always tell you that the word was written on the tablets, right? Where you get all them tablets from? Nah, not them emerald tablets. That's fake. Okay, look. Let's be clear about something. Okay? Somebody made the fucking emerald tablets up. There is no real one. There's nowhere in the world that you can find the so-called emerald tablets, bro. They're not real. They're not real. The whole thing was propaganda that some dude made up, and you got psyops like Billy Carson trying to give you a whole fucking history off of fake fucking tablets. These are the tablets. There is no emerald tablets. Okay? They made that shit up. Just all you got to do is look into it, and it'll tell you flat out that the guy never showed them. The guy that claimed that he found them never showed them to anybody anywhere ever. They've just been making up green stuff with fake fucking writing on it and having people try to decipher it. There's no fucking such thing as emerald tablets. It doesn't exist. Prove me wrong if you think that I'm wrong. You can go and read about the guy that found the emerald tablets, and it specifically says that he never ever showed the real tablets. So where'd they go? That's why you gotta worry. That's why you gotta watch out for these motherfuckers that try to teach you about shit. Oh, the emerald tablets said this and this. Okay, now you're a fucking bold-faced liar. Because now you're just taking somebody's scribble on a green stone that was made by a fucking computer, and it's just an image of something, and they're trying to tell you it's real. You want to see something close to the emerald tablets that you can actually see? Hold on. Let me show you something. Where's that fucking rock? All right, look, check this out, right? Do I have a fucking flashlight? Hold on, let me see if this thing works. If this thing's got some juice in it, I can show you. Of course it doesn't. All right, hold on. Let me charge this bad boy up. Remind me in like 10 minutes. Okay? Remind me in like 10 minutes to motherfucking show you the rock. Oh, wait, is this gonna charge this thing? That's not the right charger. I know I got one. Some fucking wire in here. Hold on, what's this one? Nope, that's the wrong kind too. Damn it. Alright, here, let me try something. See this rock right here? See, this looks like a normal rock, doesn't it? There's actually a face on it, but can you see? Look. Let me try this. You see how you can see through it? Bro, you didn't need to see the whole entire thing. Look, this is my red fuck. Oh, wait, this got a fucking flashlight on it. Hold on, I forgot about that. You see how... You get me, like... You can see that through it, right? Now, this came from this racist dude that motherfucking is hey, look, he is racist as fuck. I mean he's super racist, because like the first time I tried to teach him how to use live and how to connect to my live, since he couldn't figure it out, I listened to him call me the fucking N-word for about 10 fucking minutes, thinking that I was making fun of him while I was sitting there trying to help him get his shit together. And he what's his fucking name on here? It's the whole reason I stopped fucking with him. Like, I was about to help him blow up. I did help him blow up, because as soon as I brought him live and showed people the artifacts and shit that he had, his account went through the roof. He's like up to like 100,000 people by now. But he's advocating for... What I don't understand about it is how he's so racist at the same time advocating for the fact that black people were the original people of America, but he's racist as shit. Like, that's the funny part about it. What the fuck is his name? Anunnaki Origins or something like that. What is he called? I think it's Anunnaki Origins or something along them lines. And he's what the fuck is in... What was it? He's on TikTok. I'm surprised that they let him keep his account. I'm surprised he hasn't fucking wigged out. Like, I made that guy famous when I had my account, because I had like 140,000 people on my account. And I introduced him to him. And he's like an archaeologist, but he is a Native American, but he's not... He's literally telling other Native Americans that they weren't here first. I forget what his fucking name is, though. But when we were cool, before he actually fucking... it was a while back. That was about fucking 7 or 8 profiles ago. Back then, like, when we were cool, before he fucking wigged out and called me the fucking N-word about 30 fucking times, he sent me this artifact. And it was dope. I was fucking so pleased. And then he did that shit, and I was so hurt, yo. I was like, damn, that's disappointing. Like, it's just disappointing as fuck to have him turn out to be like that. Especially considering the fact that I wasn't even doing nothing. And it just revealed to me exactly who he was. He just came out of nowhere and just started fucking... Blah, 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 blah. And, like, he tried to apologize and stuff. But, you know... I don't know, it never sat right with me, but I've been around enough racist people in my life that, like, you know, that shit doesn't even faze me anymore. But at the same time, it's just like I get disappointed. You remember him, right? Yeah, of course you could follow me. What kind of shit is that? Nah, it's not Jade. It's not Jade. I forget what it is, but it's not Jade. It's like Jade, though. But this is a conductor. Like, this is piezoelectric. Like, you can squeeze on this and it actually fucking... It's like a diamond almost. Like, it generates human origin. Yeah, that's him right there. That was him. That's what he changed his name to. But yeah, motherfucking Charles fucking called me a fucking... about 30 fucking times because he couldn't figure out the internet. Where'd I get it? I got it from that racist guy. That's where I got it from. He's right in he's in like North Carolina. But yeah, so this is a ceremonial fetish is what he said it's called. There's like a face on here one of these ways. I think it's like this. You see the face? You see the chin, the nose, little eye dip, and then it goes up like Osiris and comes back down this way. That's the face in the stone. So I was so disappointed in him, yo. I was so disappointed, yo. I was so happy that we were cool and shit. I thought it was going to be a great breakthrough because I was going to be able to, like, you know, hang out with somebody that was a Native American and try to you know, piece things up with the natives, even though they're stealing our history and shit. But what are demons? You're a demon. And I mean that literally. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but you're a demon. Yeah. Yeah, I remember him. Yeah, yeah. That's him, Teresa. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, G Millie. You already knew where I was going. Yeah, like, yo, bro, like, look, this is the thing, is I got nothing against the Indians, nothing against the Native Americans. You know, like, they've had their whole history hijacked and kind of forced into some shit that they weren't fucking a part of and shit. Like, you know, I don't have no problems with nobody. You know, I love everybody, but one thing I don't tolerate is people coming and disrespecting me for trying to bring them the truth. You know, I know that some of it hurts a little bit. Oh, Indiana, okay, but you know, like you know, a lot of them get upset about the real history, but the real history is real history. Like, yeah, it's not that made up stuff that they give you in all these schools and shit. Yeah, everybody's a demon. Do you run off the lunar calendar? Do you run off the lunar calendar? And why you think... Hey, let me ask you something. Why do you think demon's a bad word? See, they've been teaching you all kinds of crazy shit, okay? Look, let me tell you something, right? Here, matter of fact, we'll use this one. We'll use the silencer Jesus. Yeah. Okay, look, let's get into etymology for a second. Demon. Jesus is like, don't fucking tell him. Look, demon. Etymology comes from daemon. A daemon is an inspiring spirit. Or someone that's intelligent. So yes, you're a demon. Okay? Now, the thing is that your problem is that you've been demooned. Okay? By being demooned, you've been pulled off your lunar cycle. Everybody's running on a 12-month cycle right now instead of the 13. Okay? So, when what's a good thing for entities that invoke negative feelings? A good thing for entities that invoke negative feelings. Well, that would be a lack of understanding. So, see, you got to remember that there are people that are here to bring emotions out of you. Everything that is around you is to bring emotions out of you. Oh shit! What the fuck? What was that? Hold on, let's get back to silencer Jesus. Jesus the silencer. Bring him back out, okay? Look, this is the thing, right? Is that a lot of you bring horrible things to you. The reason that you bring horrible things to you is because you don't know how the Creator works. See, you have options, right? The Creator shows you something, right? That's why it says a dream comes with much instruction. Now, it doesn't say specifically what kind of dream. That can be a daydream. That can be a dream at nighttime. Right? Okay? A dream, right? So think about this for a minute, right? Let's say you're driving down the street, right? This is the difference between me and you. And some of the people that have been following me for a while are on this same page, and I guarantee you it's changed their life, right? You'll be driving down the road, and maybe you'll have this image of a cop, right? It just pop into your head. Oh, you better not do that. You're going to get fucking arrested, right? And you'll have that whole image pop up in your head, right? And when that image pops up in your head, you'll automatically fucking start worrying. You'll automatically start looking for them. Right? You'll automatically start pouring your fucking energy into it. Right? And as soon as you do that, what happens? You get pulled over. Right? Because you don't know how the Creator works. You see, this is the thing. Is you get shown images of things that are taken care of for you. You've been shown, you get shown images of things that are taken care of for you already. The problem is you didn't know that, right? And so because you didn't know that, instead of feeling that feeling when you had that so that you didn't have to physically, you took it as an indication of something to come to you, and you poured your energy into it, and the creator was like, oh, you must want to experience that physically. Okay? When I have something like that pop up, whoo, thank you very much. When I have those images pop up to me, I'll be like, oh, thank God. Like, oh, thank you for fucking handling that shit for me. Fuck, I did not want to experience that. You get me? If you take that energy that they give you, that you're given, right? When you feel that, because every time you see those images, it makes you feel a certain way, right? And if you dive in on it, you're going to feel it physically. If you accept that it was being taken care of for you, you're not going to have to deal with it. You don't control your mind, bro. That's why the mind's the monkey. You can't control the mind. The monkey does what the monkey does. Okay? The thing is that motherfucking, it's a monkey. You don't have to fucking, you don't have to pay attention to it, right? Because it's just going to throw you fucking shit all the time. What do monkeys do? They shit in their hand and throw it in your face. What's your mind do? Shits in its fucking hand, throws it in your fucking face all the time. It's always throwing fucked up shit at you, right? So just start to accept that it did it for you so you didn't have to go for it, and you're a lot better off. If you don't accept that it was taken care of for you and you invest your energy into it, you're basically telling the universe that you want to feel that physically. You get what I'm saying? If you go along with it, the universe takes that as you wanting to experience more of it. So when you get shown something that you don't like, say thank you. When you get shown something that you want, instead of thinking that it's out of your reach, say, yeah, I want that. Thank you. Thank you for bringing that to me. Start being appreciative of the creator. Like, this is what they call the armor of God that nobody seems to know how to fucking react with. You accept it and appreciate the things that are being shown to you. You don't get shown things that aren't already on the way to you. Most of you get in the way of your own shit. You'll see something coming to you in your mind, and then you'll turn around and try to find a physical way to get to it when it was already coming to you. You'll stop everything that's on the way to you. Oh, I gotta fucking get a job. I gotta switch. I gotta make this much money. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. You got all these commands on how you're supposed to have these things that are already coming to you. Why are you stopping the fucking universe? This is why I don't understand what people try to tell you about fucking manifestation. You don't have to manifest. You've been doing it your whole life. I can prove it to you. I can prove you've been manifesting. How many people in here experience deja vu? Put a one in the chat. How many of you experienced it, right? Look how many people experienced it. Look, see how the numbers keep going? You see that? When you have deja vu, you see a place. Sometimes it's somewhere that you've never been, around people that you've never seen before, doing something that you never thought that you were going to do. And then later on in life, whether it be a month later, a week later, a year later, it can be a couple years later. Them deja vu ones be hitting hard. But you end up in that place. You didn't try to end up in that place. The thing is when it came to you, you had so many questions about it that you just automatically ended up there. Did you try? Fuck no, you didn't try. You just had questions about the shit. Same thing about all these things that come to you in your mind, right? You put your energy into it, and you did all this random ass shit that had nothing to do with it whatsoever, and ended up exactly where it was that you were in your mind. But you got to be convinced that you manifest things. Red flag. Somebody's fucking with your mind. Red flag. Okay? You've literally been a master of what you want to call manifestation your whole existence. Your whole existence. You've literally gone to any place that you really fucking put your mind to when you saw it, and you had so many questions about it that you ended up there without even trying it. But you got to be convinced to manifest things. Somebody told you got to write things down. Somebody told you that you got to fucking go and get this and go and do that. Motherfucker, it was already coming to you. See, y'all listening to people that don't know what the fuck they be talking about. See, it tells you, right? We know our brethren one from another, right? We can tell, like, whosoever has God within them can tell the other people that have also met, because there's a way that you comprehend things that doesn't fit how it spins with everybody else. And you can recognize that in other people. That's how you know who's already done their work. That's how you know who's already really put the time in to figure the things out. Is because they don't operate the same as everybody else. What do you... No, it should break fear and worry. What the fuck do you have to fear? Okay, let me ask you something, right? How many people in here experience fear? And don't lie, don't try to be cool and be like, I don't experience fear. Because even though I've gone through all this shit, I still get scared of shit sometimes. Okay? It happens. You're meant to feel things, okay? It's okay to feel things. You should enjoy that fear. You should enjoy the fact that something brought that emotion out of you. But this is the thing. In all reality, you have nothing to fear. Everything's been dying around you but you. Somebody taught you that you die. Red flag. You've watched everything die around you, but you keep on not dying. Doing the same shit that other motherfuckers doing shit. You still keep on not dying, but you're scared of stuff. You see what I'm going with this? When have you died? You've experienced death. You've experienced death of bugs. You've experienced death of animals. You've experienced death of loved ones. You've experienced death of friends. You've experienced death of strangers. You're still here. No, you didn't die 3 times, because if you died 3 times, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Maybe you had to be shown death to remind you to live, but you're not dead. Quantum Leap, that was an interesting show. But think about it. Y'all keep denying reality. The reality is that you've survived everything. What are you fucking scared of? Nah, you know what fear is? Hold on, where's my book? I wrote a good acronym for this. I gotta find my book. Hold on a second. It's around here somewhere. What did I do with it this time? Because I don't remember what that acronym was right now. Where did I put it? You know what? I know I got it on my tablet. So let's do it that way. Here, look. Let me show you something, right? Let me flip this around. No, you don't have a weakness. You don't have a weakness, bro. You've been taught all kinds of crazy shit, but where's the proof of your weakness at? Let's go to the drive real quick. Files. Let's go to my book. Where's my book at? Kingdom packet? Yeah, that's it. All right, now give me this. All right, look, right? Check this out, right? False evidence appearing real. Yeah, that's that old school shit. Dude, I didn't do fear, did I? Damn. I don't have an acronym for fear. Ain't that a bitch? I got acronyms for all the other stuff, though. You got the reprogramming. See? Ego, your emotionally grown outcomes. All right? Pain, your programmed attachment that implies need. Right? Pain comes from you believing that you're attached to something and thinking that you need it, right? That's where your pain comes from lack of getting it when you think that because you've been trained to think you need it, right? You've got your learned, obsessive, subjective separations, right? Your losses, right? Learned, obsessive, subjective separation, right? Because you have to subject yourself to the separation, which means that you had to learn that it was yours in the first place, which is a lie. Departing earth, attaining true heaven, right? That's death, right? Hey, you know what? Fear is probably not in here because it's not a real thing, right? Failure is finding acceptable. Finding acceptance involves learning useful realities exist. Right? Right? Containment, occupying mastery, producing lives, accepting needless, chaotic environments. Compliance. Right, that's a big one right there, right? Then you got the amplified neurological games that emit rage, right? It's a game, really, it's a game. All monkeys do is play, okay? Now you gotta unlock that fountain, right? I like this chapter. Nostalgia is a form of suffering. I agree with that. That makes sense. Like, look, this is the thing, right? Is that I like this subject right now, right? Because I was having a conversation with somebody when this subject came about. Because he said, I'm in a worse situation than I was. I was like, then what? He's like, then before. I was like, well, how are you in a worse situation? You're still here, right? It's like, yeah. But all right, but you decided to make this a bad situation, right? It wasn't always like that. It was a choice that you made. Right? Better, worse, or now. Better or worse does not exist. Never have, never will. You would have to believe that you could prove that they did to accept them. Prove to me that the situation that you was in was better than the one that you're in now. How can you prove that? Think about that for a minute. How can you prove that you were in a better situation before? Is a regret things that could have been good but due to trauma couldn't happen? How the fuck did you get trauma? See, these are things we get taught. Well, let me ask you something, right? Now, you might think that you make a mistake, right? How many people in here think they make mistakes? Put a 1 in the chat if you think that you make mistakes. Be honest. It's okay if you do. Okay, let me ask you something, right? If they were mistakes, then how come they led you to where you are right now? Can you explain that to me? If they were mistakes, how did they lead you to where you are right now if it was a mistake? How is it a mistake if it led you to where you're already? If it led you to where you're at, could it have really been a mistake? No. Okay, look. Okay, I see one of you still hanging on to this idea of better possibilities and scenarios and shit. How the fuck do you know? How do you know that there could have been a better result or outcome? That's all shit that you're imagining and making up in your head. Where's your proof? You see how we punish ourselves for things that don't even exist? Yeah, this is one of my books. Oh, you could have chosen different. Oh, you see, I see you're still wanting to hang on to that pity party. Look, I don't think that that makes sense though, because you seem to be doing pretty good right now, right? So it couldn't have been a mistake because you're doing good now. So how is it a mistake? You can sit there and try to convince yourself that there was a better outcome that could have possibly happened had you done X, Y, and Z. But the fact of the matter is that that's just in your fucking head. So there's no truth behind it whatsoever. Literally, there's literally no truth in it. Failure. Where'd you fail at? You can get digital copies from me, or you can order a physical copy of it off of Amazon. It's called Unlocking the Kingdom. It's the Book of Johnson, Unlocking the Kingdom. But, tell me where you failed at. I'll wait. See, I know that once something frustrates you too much, you're gonna walk away from it. I know that when things, when you start feeling trapped by something, you're pretty much gonna move on from it, right? Because there's only so many things that you can experience. Right? There's only so many things that you can experience. Right? Somebody lied to you and gave you good and bad, but none of these things are outside of the maxims. These are my maxims of life. Okay, this is the maxim of the human experience. Okay, this is my little wheel that I created, right? Now, if you notice, right, you got this little split right here, right? Now, this split is if you believe in duality. This is a split. But if you notice, all of these are connected. All right? Because all of these are love. See, you've been taught hate, right? That's what's dividing you right now. You've been taught love and hate, good and bad, and all this other shit. But all this shit is love. There is no bad. There is no fucking evil. Okay? There's just different forms of love that you don't recognize. Because when you first get with somebody, you feel joy, right? And that makes you feel like you're winning in life, which makes you feel like you're successful. Winning and success are two separate things, okay? That's not the same thing. Success is a progress. Winning is a fucking emotional feeling that takes place, okay? Like, these are two separate things. Like, you can win something, but that doesn't mean that you were successful, okay? But you can be successful and never win anything, okay? So just keep that in mind, all right? Now, that same thing that you love, like, it doesn't even have to be a person. Say it's this laser pointer. Right, this little laser pointer right here, right? I love that thing. It brings me joy. I was happy like I fucking won something when I got it. I was successful in getting to it, right? It makes my day a little bit lighter, makes me a little bit brighter inside. I feel all alive and I feel all fucking brand new and secure in the fact that I have it now, right? But immediately upon fucking not being able to find it, I started to get a little aggravated if I want it when I don't have it, right? Which makes me worry about losing it. Right? Because, damn, where the fuck did it go? Right? And that means that I failed at something because now I have to look for it and I look for it over and over and over and over and over again. But it's still not there, right? So then I become trapped by it, right? Because then you get aggravated as fuck. And now you're just like sitting there frustrated and flustered trying to figure out what the fuck happened to it, right? So your day gets a little bit heavier, right? And your mind gets a little bit darker, right? Because you're getting frustrated. Your mind starts getting all cloudy, right? So you start to feel a little dead inside because now you're missing something and it feels like there's nothing going, right? So then that makes you feel a little bit older, makes you feel a little vulnerable, right? But that was only because of the fact that it gave you security when you got it, because of the fact that you felt brand new when you found it, because of the fact that it made you feel more alive when you had it, because of the fact that it made your day a little bit brighter, because of the fact that it made that weight a little bit lighter, because of the fact that it made you feel a little free, and because of the fact that it brought you success. And because, you understand, all of these are part of your experience. And it doesn't matter what item you have. It doesn't matter what thing you have, what person you're around, what pet you have. It doesn't matter. Everything in life takes you through this wheel. No, I didn't say it was in the link tree, Sherry. I never said it was in the link tree. They fucked up my link tree. I don't know why they don't fucking let it work on here, but they fucked it up. But it is on there. You just got to copy and paste it somewhere else. Or maybe I got to look into it because you're like the third person that said it doesn't work. But it doesn't work if you just click on it. You got to copy and paste it into a browser. But this is the thing, right? Is that all of these things are guaranteed with love. If you love something, it's going to upset you. If you love something, you're going to worry about losing it. If you love something, you're always going to fail it because you're always going to try to improve for it or improve it itself, which means that love traps you because now you're stuck on something, right? Which means that love makes your day heavier, makes your day darker, right? Makes you feel a little dead inside because you're always giving yourself away, right? Makes you feel a little bit older, makes you feel vulnerable. So if love makes you feel all this side of the wheel, how the fuck is it that you've been convinced that this side is good and this side is bad? You can't realistically accept that. You have to train yourself to accept that because you're guaranteed all of this shit. There's no way that you escape it. There's nothing that you have that doesn't take you through this entire wheel. Nothing. There's nothing in your experience because all of this is guaranteed. This is what you're here to experience. So there's a cycle of things. Every time that you start to get angry with your partner, if you can't get back to being joyful, you start thinking about losing them. Right? And that loss is going to make you feel like you're failing at life, which means that you're going to be trapped by your partner. And that love is going to be getting real heavy. And if it gets a little bit too dark and you start to feel a little dead inside, you know, that numb feeling, right? And you start to feel a little old and a little vulnerable, you skip the fucking doodah right the fuck up out of there and go looking for the next part. Anytime that you've been stuck on this side of the wheel too long because you didn't realize that it was only a product of love, you decided that it was too much and you started doing an act that got it to end. As soon as you decided that it was going to end, you inherently start doing things. Your body starts moving and you start saying things and acting things out that will end it so that it's not on you to end it. If you don't end it when you know that you need to. This is why I don't understand why people get so upset when relationships end. You made that choice before it happened. I don't give a fuck if you think that you didn't. You definitely chose to do that thing that you knew in your mind, if I keep doing this, they're probably going to leave me for it. And you just said, fuck it. Why? Because you were already done with the whole wheel. You couldn't find your way back to this side. The reason you couldn't find your way back to this side is because you didn't realize that these things were all guaranteed in the first place. See, people that have long fucking relationships and long-term marriages and shit, they went through this side. They were aware that all of these things were going to come. Okay? They were aware of it and they endured it and they moved through it. They don't teach you them things these days. You get me? They don't teach you how to look for these things. They don't teach you how to get yourself out of these things. Instead, they leave you with all these ideas that as soon as something goes wrong that you need to quit. The moment something goes wrong, now they've got everybody convinced that they're on their special path and anything that doesn't suit them, they should get out of their way. Now you got a whole bunch of really miserable single people running around. A shit ton of families broke up as soon as this spiritual shit started. I watched it happen. Family after family after family divided because everybody got convinced that there was something better out there for them and that they had to be on a better path. Meanwhile, the whole time, the only thing that makes things better is your perspective. I've watched hundreds of thousands of people end entire families over the last fucking 5 years due to the fact that they were that they believed that because they were on their spiritual journey that they had to go and find something. Now those people are broken, single, crying, a mess, living in their fucking houses alone, miserable as shit because the whole entire time all they had to do was fix their perspective. You see, the problem that most people have, and I'm going to keep going back to this until everybody gets it into their fucking head, because I want y'all to be successful in your relationships and your endeavors. I want you to realize something, right? I want you to realize, right? If, I'm going to keep using this same example too, right? Let's say you think of a car or a truck that you want. You think of that car, that truck that you want. You might see yourself driving it over a fucking rainbow. Right? Because, you know, you have dreams of doing crazy, wild shit when you decide that you want something, right? So you can see yourself doing all kinds of crazy shit. Maybe you pictured yourself sitting in that car that Elon sent into the stratosphere. Maybe you pictured that AI image that he produced for everybody, right? Maybe you pictured that for yourself, right? But this is the thing. You'll go out and get that car, right? And you'll love the fuck out of that car. You love it. Right? Never once were you able to drive it over the rainbow. Never once could you drive it on the moon. Right? But that didn't make you get rid of the car. The fact that you couldn't do it did not make you get rid of the car, right? Put a 1 in the chat if you understand what I'm saying right now. I just want to make sure you're following along with me on this, because this is real serious shit. Okay, this is like some real serious shit, and I want you to fully grasp this. Right? Now each one of you right now, okay? Right now each one of you has something in your life right now that you could imagine yourself doing some off the wall shit with, that you still have and that you still keep and that you still love, right? And even though you can't do that thing that you think in your mind with that thing that you've got, right? You still love it and you still keep it. But when your partner doesn't match up to those things that you have in your head, you got rid of them. You see where you fucked up at? Let me ask you something. Why couldn't you show the same love to your partner that you still show to that fucking car that you love so much? Why couldn't you show your same love to your partner that you showed to that fucking house that you got? Why can't you show that same love for your dog? I mean, for your partner that you have for your animal that can't do the things that you want it to do? Why is it that the things that were in your head didn't stop you from enjoying this, but the things that were in your head made you stop enjoying your partner? You see, you didn't draw that same line. Right? You don't give your partner the same grace that you give that thing in your head. You don't give them that. Instead, you get mad at them because they don't equal up to the ways that you think of them in your head. And you leave them because of that. But they were only being the person that you fell in love with in the first place. Right? But because of the things you fell in love with them, and then your mind gave you all these dope ass ideas because they were with you, and then you decided that because they didn't match up to those dope ass ideas that your mind gave you from being around them, that they were no longer suitable. Because now you went to go and find other people that matched up to that thing in your head. You see how you're chasing after dreams? You don't want to chase your dreams. Your dreams are going to lead you into being by yourself in a closed off box some fucking where. Exactly where you don't want to be. Everything else in your life, you're okay with it not matching up to what's in your head. But when it comes to your partner, that's where you draw the line at. Somebody that loves you. Somebody that makes you feel good. Somebody that motherfucking brings you motherfucking... You get what I'm saying? No, don't follow your dreams. You shouldn't follow your dreams. Your dreams are always going to leave you unsatisfied. You can't enjoy life if you're always trying to chase what you're dreaming of. Your dreams will take you to the ends of the universe and back. You can't get there, but you're going to chase that instead of what you've got in front of you. Yeah, that's the other thing. If you're chasing them, you're already telling the world that you don't want them, because now the universe thinks that you're out there for the fucking fun of the chase. You'll never be satisfied as long as you're chasing your dreams. Your dreams are there to give you fucking, euphoric moments and things. They're not there for you to, if you have it in your mind, you don't need it physically. Hey, look, here, let me prove something to you. How many times have you watched porn when like you were a kid and shit? Like, you went and watched those. That shit ain't never matter that it wasn't really happening physically. You still got your enjoyment out of it, didn't you? Huh? Oh. Oh, right? But it was just as good in your mind as it was in real life. Huh. But yet, you're going to... Well, look, this is the thing. When it comes to your partner, if you accept your partner for who they are, you don't have to worry about negatives, because the only negatives actually come from you. The only negatives come from you. It's your perspective that changed over time. Once again, that's going back to your mind. It's not going back to your partner. Your partner was always that person when you met them. They didn't change. You might have ignored some things that they did in the beginning, but you should have ignored those later on too. Because it's only the fact that you accepted that what they were doing was a negative that made it negative in the first place. Maybe they like to have multiple partners. Right? But maybe they have to do it sneakily because you don't accept the fact that they like to have multiple partners, right? But that's your fucking hang up, because they're still good to you. They're still just as good to you while they're cheating on you. But then you go and leave them for cheating on you because you couldn't accept the fact that they wanted multiple partners. Everybody's not like that. Everybody doesn't want multiple partners and shit like that. But it's you that got trained to be solo in the first place. You had to be told that a relationship was like that, because in nature, almost nothing in nature. There's very few creatures in nature that only stick to one partner. There's the doves, there's swans, there's the fighting fish, there's, what else is there? There's the... That's about it. That's about all that I can think of. Wolves don't stick with one partner. What do you mean? The leader of the pack knocks everybody up. Penguins. Yeah, that's the other one. Penguins. I already said geese. I thought I did. So you've got like maybe 4 or 5 creatures in the entire animal kingdom of millions of fucking creatures that have multiple partners. And let me tell you something. You're a pack animal yourself. That's why you like to be around people. The most thing that's frustrating to you right now is the fact that you can't be around people because you've been taught to mistrust and dislike everybody. But the fact is that you like to be a part of a group. Why do you think you're here enjoying yourself? You like to be around others. It's just that somebody's gave you this idea that you can't be around others because everybody's been painted to be a fucking monster around you. You're a pack animal just like everything else. There's very few creatures on this planet that operate independently solely. Almost everything has partners. Notice how I said almost, so please don't sit here and try to fucking correct me, because I did say almost. But realize that if they didn't structure things the way that they did in this country, there'd be multiple women per guy, because it would be going off of the old school ways of the leader being the fucking most dominant person, rather than being these unintelligent, rather than being a bunch of nerdy motherfuckers that got you running off of money and shit like that. That fucked up your whole shit. Because now women, see, this is why women cheat. I'm a construction worker. Trust me, I know that women that are married cheat, especially the ones that go to the fucking, that get married to that young guy when they're in fucking high school, and that go after that rich guy and shit. You know why they cheat? They cheat because they know they're not around a real man. And they get all hot and bothered when they see a man going out there and building stuff out there. Why? Because naturally you're attracted to builders and protectors, and a man that's pushing paper, making dollars, is none of that. Yeah, well, now you know why so many rich women divorce their husbands. It's because they're not being men. You understand? They're not being men. It's not possibilities, my guy. I did construction for damn near 20-something years, bro. There's not been one, there's almost none of the married women that I came across when I was working on these fancy ass houses and shit like that didn't slide me their number, didn't cook me food while I was there, didn't motherfucking come out there and sit there or watch me on the fucking cameras and tell me about it. You understand? Is marriage a constructed thing in the terms of system we live in? Yes. Yes. Marriage is for slaves. Literally. Because the only reason that people get married is to make sure that they can survive financially these days. They don't get married out of love and shit like that. Marriage is a financial contract. Originally, the marriage contract basically made it so that the woman was the man's property and he was responsible for anything that she did. Like if she went down the street and busted out the neighbor's window, they didn't say nothing to her. They just came to him and said, look, your woman busted out my window. You owe me this money for her actions. And he would have to take care of that for her. You get me? Oh, that's crazy, Valerie. That's the best kind of fucking love. That's the best kind. Isn't it the best when you can actually build with your partner? Like, actually build with them? Isn't that the fucking best, Joe? I'm still waiting to find somebody I can build with. I don't know why, but every chick that I've gotten with, like, they've just been, like, so fucking jealous of anything that I did. I didn't understand it. I had no idea what was... Look, I've tried dating people that like things that I, like have similarities with me. As soon as it just turns into a competition immediately. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, look, motherfucker. If I'm doing something and it fucking helps us, why the fuck is it a competition? We're supposed to be partners. People are lost these days, you know, and I don't, you know, I've gotten to the point I don't waste my time fucking trying to do that shit. Like, you know, they're like, you know, I know right now I'm at peace, right? I would love to have a partner right now, but I don't accept just anything. And motherfucking, I wouldn't trade being able to do this for any relationship, because right now I've got a relationship with the world and I find that fucking fulfilling enough. You get me? But that doesn't mean that I wouldn't love to have somebody to come home to. It's just not something I give a it's not that I don't give a fuck about it. It's just not on my list of priorities. Yeah, it is definitely tough, Tracks. It is definitely tough, yo. Like, dog, like I got an ex that's building a whole music career off of playing a victim with me and using me to fuel everything. Like, I've got an ex doing that right now. Somebody that I saved their life literally. Like, literally saved their life. I mean that literally. I mean, motherfucking, like ODing on the floor and having to pick them up off the floor and fucking wake them up and keep them fucking alive. I mean, saving their life literally. You get what I'm saying? I'm good, bro. I'm good. If I can literally save your life and then you turn around and try to make a victim out of being in a relationship with me because it makes it so that other people accept you, then I don't even know what to do at that point. You get me? So I'm good. I'm just chilling. The shit don't make no sense. And until I find somebody of sound mind, I'm good. I don't worry about none of the other shit. I don't care what a motherfucker... I mean, looks are okay. Looks are a good thing and everything like that. But in reality, bitch, if you fucking disturb my peace, nope, you're gone. I'm not dealing with it. I got too much shit that I gotta accomplish. You only had 3 relationships in your whole life? You've lived a great life. You have lived a great life. I've actually been in a couple, like a good amount of relationships in my life. And you know what? Like, I don't even care that she's mad at me and using me to prop up her motherfucking, to prop up her little music career and shit like that. It's a little bit insulting that she's trying to make it like I did her dirty somehow. But, I'm just happy that I got to have her in my life for a point. You get me? I don't hold no grudges against her. Like, it's irritating that she portrays me in that way. But, but outside of that, I still love her. I still love I love all my exes. I love all the experiences that I had with them and all the fucking feelings that they helped me feel and the things that I learned around them. I don't have that problem of having, like, harboring feelings towards my exes and, like, disgust or something like that. Like, it's pretty much, it just is what it is, and I'm good. A lot of people have a hard time being okay with not being with somebody. You get me? Like, a lot of people have a hard time being okay with somebody without being with them. I'm not, and that confuses the fuck out of my exes. They get mad as shit. They be like, oh, they be trying to get back with me and stuff. I'm like, no, I'm not trying to get back with you, yo. But no. We're just friends now. We're cool now. That's it. We're just cool. Like, no, I can't do that. And then they get all mad at me all over again. What's the Bones situation? What was this one about? Hold on, let me see. I don't remember. I was starting to put something together. Oh, I know what it was. I was putting together something, right? What I was trying to show is this. Okay, here, let me show you this real quick. Look, right? This is your atlas. Okay, this is your axis. Okay, this is your Earth. This is your underworld. Where your underwear goes. Right? And all the accesses and things, right? Because right above the atlas is your pyramid. And your olives, right? That tree of life in the pyramids, right? Where your Nile River goes through, right? This is your Nile, is these arteries. Okay, that's where you get your 7 from. That's your Nile. And your Nile runs up to the heavens, the hemisphere. That's what it was about. Because the thing is that this is Bible talk, okay? When you read the Bible, you need to read it from this perspective. Your glands are the lands. Those are different lands that are floating in the waters. Those are the lands, okay? That's what your glands are, okay? And if you read the Bible from this perspective, it'll make a lot more sense when they're talking to you about heaven, when they're talking to you about Egypt, when they're talking to you about Asia, when they're talking to you about the world, when they're talking to you about the angles, when they're talking to you about the earth, when they're talking to you about the underworld, right? If you look at things from this perspective, it's going to help you realize what they're talking about, because they're always talking to you about the olive trees. Okay, that's where your pyramid's at. The olive trees are by the pyramid. Okay, and then up in here is where you always see the old pictures always have the horse, right? Which is also this part. It's your pyramid. Your pyramid looks like the horse. Okay, and the birds of the heavens. There's a part in your brain. Oh, let me do it like this. That's shaped like this. It's like a beak that's in your brain. That's your lateral ventricle. Looks like that. Okay? Or no, I'm sorry. This is your corpus. The corpus callosum. The corpus. The corpse. Right? The corpse looks like this. Okay? And inside of that is where your ram is at. Okay, so when they're talking about all these animals, right, and all these things, right, the bird is the corpus in the Bible, and, the horses that they ride is the pawns, and when they're riding a chariot, it's the energy from the heart, because it's showing you the ventricular segmentation, the rotation of the heart, the rotation of the energy. So that's what the nerves are, the reins to the fucking chariot. And this is where your seat is, that the guy would be sitting in the chariot. He'll be sitting like right here. Okay, because that's your circle of Willis. Okay, these are your 7 steps to heaven. No, they don't say steps. The 7 seals. Okay, these are your seals right here. Okay, these back here, disciples, the disc, I pull, because it's what follows behind the heart. Okay, the disciples that always follow behind Jesus. Jesus was representing the heart when they're talking about that. Okay, now the 12 disciples, right? The arteries that come up, these 3 arteries, these 3 that come up from the heart, those are your 3 wise men, the ones that carry the knowledge from the heavens and shit. Okay, and let's see, this is your cross. Let's make that bigger. That's your cross right there. Okay, it's the spine and the clavicle. This is the cross that you bear. Okay, so if you start looking at the Bible from this perspective, the book of Genesis is going to make a lot more sense to you, because Moses gets the tablets, which is the word, which is your lungs. Those are the tablets, right? Because your lungs hold air, which is where the word comes from. That's the word of God, right? And when he gets it on the scroll, that's your heart. Right? Because your heart, when you cut, if you cut the mitochondrial band, you get the helical heart. And that heart unravels into a big ass scroll, because your heart is literally a vortex. It's just raveled up right now, so it doesn't seem like it, but the heart is actually a vortex. Okay, and they've known this since back in like the 60s. There's a man You can look the video up. It's called The Man That Unraveled 1,000 Hearts or something like that. Or 100 hearts or 1,000 hearts. And he'll sit there and show you how to unravel the heart properly. What are the ribs? Tribes. Yeah, it actually does look like that. The ribs are the tribes. You get me? Sorry. The ribs are the tribes. The ventricles and the arteries are your serpents. Okay, that's why they speak. They carry the messages. Oh yeah, man, that book is full of them. They've just added letters on the stuff and changed stuff. Why do you think you have the Book of Acts? What's your axe? That's your axe. That's your shoulder blade, isn't it? Right? Serpent is not repent. I don't know what you. I get what you're saying, but it's not, because serpents literally just represent the flow of the blood, and you don't repent that. Yeah, the body is the garden. You got your tree of life. All right. So all the arteries and shit that go around in your fucking chest, all right? The tree of knowledge. Yeah, now you know why the snake bites its tail. It's always fucking... That blood don't never leave. It just keeps on flowing. You get me? Now look, check this out, right? Oop, shit, that's too big. Let's make that a little bit smaller. So you got all kinds of bugs and creatures, crabs and motherfucking spiders and motherfucking ants and bees and all kinds of shit. Right? Oh yeah, they're doing a serious number on people, cause like give me, look at the axe, look at the shoulder blade, look at that. That's your axe, right? That's your anchor. When they tell you to anchor your soul. Oh, my soul is anchored. Meet me at 11:30. I'm sorry. I know that probably hurts your ears. My bad. I apologize if you got headphones on. Hey, look at the elephant. You get me? Oh, you got all kinds of creatures in you. Right? See the head? See that helmet? You get what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot in you. No, the spine is the spear in spirit. What do you mean? It literally is. Look at it. You ever seen them cartoons where the guy's got the whip that's made out of chains? How it's got that little sharp blade on the end of it? Bloop. You ever seen the arrow? Right? That's your arrow. All right, and then you go like that, and that's your bow. So your bow and your arrow. You get me? Wow, there's so much in your body. And if you start fucking realizing this, when you start seeing things out in the world, you're gonna be looking at you all over the place. You're gonna be like, man, they really love me. You're like, man, they really love me. They got me all over the place out here. Bro, you know how much peace you'll get? See, you can't get there with this guy. That guy's like, nah, we gonna keep this to ourselves. You ain't speaking about this shit. Nah, we out here motherfucking getting to the source, okay? We're like, yeah, let me show you the creator in you. Okay, the creator's all up in you. There's all kinds of fucking shit inside of you. Not with this guy, though. Oh, no. No. And he's like, no, we gonna silence that right there. No, we ain't doing that. Red flag, bitch, red flag. No, we ain't dealing with that. Not silencer Jesus. Okay? Over here, we reveal stuff. Ugh. But look, ladies and gentlemen, I think that was a pretty good live for today. So, thank y'all for hanging out with me. It's about time for me to go do whatever the fuck. It just feels like it's time to end the live. I think we should end it here on a good one. Okay? So, thank y'all for sitting in. And I will catch y'all on the next round.